And as well as kind of like adults. So this is the thing, every now and again I show you, Warhammer is so straight. The people that are into it, like the memes for Warhammer are always
So
fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
Like beyond bizarre, like to the point where you kind of go, what the fuck is going on?
How is this
They're
even
kind of
funny?
funny because they're just so weird. But do you ever listen to, I know you're a big Gunship fan, and you're probably happy that, actually they did a thing this week that a lot of coders were saying, I remember you saying something about this before, that you like listening to music that doesn't have lyrics, kind of like
Soundtracks and
stuff.
When I'm studying or something,
working.
or working, yeah.
But they said that a lot of coders were saying, yeah, we love your music, but we prefer
Lyrics
if
are
there was no
distracting.
lyrics in it, so they released the instrumental versions of the two
deadly.
albums that they had out for people in particular. But there's another guy, Carpenter Brute. Have you ever heard of him?
No, I can't say I have.
Have you ever heard of Perturbator?
Yes, I have heard of Perturbator.
He'd be kind of like Perturbator, but he's French. Well, Perturbator's French as well, isn't he?
I know you, but he's French. What does that got to do with it?
But
Oui, oui.
there's the director of one of these videos, Seth Ickerman. He did Turbo Killer, but they had a movie come out this week. It's like a Shudder, kind of like people don't know Shudder is like the Netflix of horror, where it's like a 3-part miniseries, but it's like they're like 10 minutes or 15 minutes apart, kind of like think of Kung Fury, that kind of style. It's called Blood Machines, which it's a sci-fi thing. And it kind of ties in with the Turbo Killer video, if people are familiar with it. Well, I was looking at that the other day, and I have to say, I'm fucking so disappointed. If you look at the Turbo Killer music video, it's so energetic, it's fucking mental. It's like Kung Fury to a point. It's like a ship that's like an inverted crucifix, and women turned into cars, and men. It's just fucking insane. So I thought, like, well, if it's 15 minutes, there has to be just non-stop action in it. And it's like, the last
So
5 minutes are
boring.
kind of, it's like everything is, like, the effects are good, but it just, and the story is interesting, where it's like this whole thing and melding between, like, souls of machines and things. But
Yeah, the visuals are nice, but it's just okay, dull. Come
it's,
on,
I
then.
was like, it'd be, if they do a second part of it, which for second season, but it was just, I was like, what the I don't know.
Why is Ireland up there? Oh, it's the release date.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's something that you might check out if you have 50 minutes spare.
Nice music and nice visuals, but don't be expecting to have the world set on fire with it.
Oh, the one good film that we were looking at a while ago is, did you ever look at Fright Night? You did look at Fright Night, didn't it?
Yeah, we did that, as we were talking about earlier on. We did a movie kind of podcast, and did that as one of the movies.
And
in
can
the
you remember it?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Vaguely.
It was kind of with your man. He was living next door to the vampire. Where
There was a lot of vampire movies we did.
They're all vampire movies.
Well, he was like, no one would believe him that the vampire was, and he went off on like this old horror movie guy that was like
I
Vincent
do,
Price.
yes. This was weird, but it was a good movie. I liked it.
It was the vampire was called Jerry Dandridge in it, whereas at the time everyone was like, Jerry's a vampire? But it's like not necessarily a take on it, but kind of like
similar.
It's called The Wretched, where it was like a witch moves next door to this young fella.
It doesn't necessarily move, she kind of inhabits the
And she
woman
inhabits, she's like
next
terrorizing
door.
the family next door. And it's like a low budget indie movie.
It's really good though.
It's really good, yeah. What were you, Jen? Do you like horror movies?
Yes, I do.
Good.
She'd actually
This
like
would
horror
be a
movies more than I do.
Yeah, I
What'd
suggest
be your
watching
favourite
them
one?
a lot more than what we get to watch them.
What'd be your favourite one?
Oh God, I can't even remember the last time I watched a horror movie. It's been so long.
Hey.
It's kind of hard to pick a favourite horror. I kind of like gore. I like, I don't know. It's kind of what I do like is I like a horror that will give you a good fright. And they are hard to find. To be fair, I can't actually think of any at the top of my head because it has been a long time since I managed to watch one.
That's terrible,
because
Mark.
one, it's not Mark's fault. One, I will not watch them on my own. I love them, but I must be with somebody else. And two, 9 times out of 10, we don't end up watching it, which is fine. But yeah, I just I can't remember the last time I did watch one.
Well, that was the thing we set up. I can't remember even the name of the podcast because we had a couple of them, but we did one. It was like it started off with the
Scary
specific thing was to get Mark watching horror movies
Failed
like
spectacularly.
and to see what he thought of them, and it was a lot of it was like 80s horror movies
Yeah.
that he would never have seen in his life, and he kind of started getting into a bit. Or were you
Somewhat,
just-
yeah. Like I enjoyed some of them, but I kind of fell into a rut of like some of them was like, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised, and then there could be weeks of like going, eh. So it was kind
Yeah,
of like,
weeks of like, why have you
loved-
forced me to watch this shit?
I actually really enjoyed Hostel 2.
Yeah, Hostel 2 was better than Hostel
Not
1,
Hostel.
I think.
No, the second one has to be the second one.
Yeah.
Because it showed it from the capturer's point of view. And I really enjoyed that.
There was more. That was a good movie. That was a really good movie.
But that was more
What
kind
mo-
of like gore than horror.
What you probably would like.
So, all the
Oh
Saw
no!
series.
With the Hostel thing, it's probably a Serbian movie.
no, you wouldn't.
The two you need to sit down and
Serbian
look
I've
for
movie.
a
seen the
date night.
Serbian movie. I'm not watching.
Have you
it
seen
again.
Martyrs? Martyrs?
No.
No.
Martyrs.
Whenever if we're
Martyrs.
talking about Martyrs in the same reference to Serbian movies, I'm also not watching that.
Martyrs is different from a Serbian movie. There's no like fucking kiddie fucking in it or
No,
like
but
that.
there is extreme gore.
Yeah, Martyrs is like it's like an art house gore movie.
Yes.
Yeah. You can't say anything about it because it ruined because
What
there's
was-
loads
what
of
was the
it,
one
it
with
starts
the-
off as being one type of movie. You
I
think
like
it's going to be
Strangers
What's
as
wrong
well.
with pregnancy? The French one.
Strangers?
Yeah.
Oh,
know.
The Strange. Oh, yeah. There's a new sequel to that is out. It's meant to be very good.
What was the one with the pregnancy? The French one.
Inside.
Inside.
Yeah.
We, watched,
the
we,
interior.
we did that one, I think. Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't do the Inside.
Is that not the one where your one the baby is telling her to kill people?
No, that was Prevenge.
Oh, okay.
Yes. That was quite good as well, actually. Yeah.
What was the name? Oh, I'm trying to
I think
think of
it's
the
on
name of the
Channel
one
4 now at the
where
moment.
Funny
it was
Games
when he
actually
was
something I might
deaf.
enjoy as well.
Oh, I know what you're on about. The Hush.
yes. Was it?
I haven't seen it, but it's your man
Yes,
Nicky Flanagan, I
it
think,
was
directed
Hush.
that did The House on Haunted Hill.
That was quite good,
damn.
actually.
Is that the one where your man like breaks into the house?
Yeah.
There's also one where it's a blind guy and they break into his house, but he's like booby trapped the house, isn't it?
That one was brilliant.
Oh, that's
What was
with
that
your man from Avatar,
Yeah.
Yes.
Stephen Lang.
I can't think of the name of it though.
It
now.
was done by the Fede Alvarez. Did
Don't
it.
Breathe.
It was like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Three delinquents
that was
break into a
because-
house. Yeah, that was it.
Because you're rooting for him at the start, and then all of a sudden when it gets to the fucking turkey baster bit, you kind of go, no.
Yeah.
They're meant to be doing a sequel to that as well.
I told you to stop reading.
Don't breathe.
I
Don't
thought
fucking
Us was
breathe.
awful. Is it Us?
Yeah, also
Yeah.
US is. I think they left it ambiguous that way. You know, also meta. Like
thought it
I
was
didn't
awful.
watch Get Out, but like everyone was going. Jordan Peele's great and this and that. And now Get Out could be good.
Oh,
As I
wasn't
said, I
that
haven't
good?
seen it, but
No.
I
Us
didn't enjoy
was
that much. No.
just I didn't like it
Terrible.
at all.
No. Shit.
That's we went on about that a lot in the podcast. Actually, kind of saying that
really
it was
didn't
like
enjoy
Jordan
that.
Peele's over. I'm looking forward to the new Candyman, but he's
Yeah.
only producing
Oh, I
it.
fucking love Candyman.
And
It's
as
one
well,
of
it
my
looks like
favourite films.
they're trying not to sell it as a sequel, but from what I've
It's
seen,
really
I think it is a sequel.
sequel.
No, it's a
Yeah.
sequel.
Yeah.
But is it-
I think
I
Tony
think
Todd
it-
is playing Candyman in it as well.
Is it supposed to be one of those sequels though where you don't need to know any of the previous references and that's kind of like how they're getting away
Yeah, I
with
think they kind of like spin back to it, and so but they've been very kind of like vague about stuff, but to the point where you kind of go, because like Tony Todd isn't saying shit about it. He's in it, but he's not saying what he's doing in it. But Candyman seems to be more of like a shadowy figure, where it's not like an actual person in it. So I'd imagine they've Tony Todd doing the voice, Candyman in it. And it looks really, really good.
Oh, it's just. Hope they don't ruin it.
But there's another one that you should keep an eye out for. I think, Mark, you might even like it, because it seems to go for that kind of Bandai fucking thing. Like with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but kind of like take the
Oh, I
complete
was
utter
actually
piss
just
out
going
of
to
it.
say I enjoyed The Void,
Yeah, it's the guys that did The Void, which was like a throwback to John Carpenter movies.
which is one of my favourite. I love The Fog and all the rest.
But it's like Psycho Gorman, it's called, where it seems to be this fucking evil alien thing that like just loves ripping people apart, befriends
Super.
these two kids, and all he can say is his name, Psycho Gorman, and then like all these other monsters from like
Pikachu.
but it's done like a fun. The trailer is done like a fun 80s kind of like ET kind of a thing,
Nice.
Okay.
but with all this horrific shit going on.
So a sci-fi horror comedy movie kind of.
Yeah,
Nice.
so
So it really doesn't know
Gorman.
what it is. It's a
Yeah, but
melding of.
It's you have to look at the trailer for it, but it's the trailer. It's very very funny, but horrific at the same point.
I quite like The Void, actually, so if it's the same guy did that.
Oh,
not
The
bad.
Void was excellent.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Nosferatu?
Yeah, the
The
original
original?
one. Yeah,
Yeah, 1922.
yeah.
I actually, years and years and years ago, I saw Nosferatu performed with Philip Glass did the kind of the score and all the rest. It was this whole sort of orchestral thing. It was actually quite good, I have to say. I did quite enjoy that. So that was possibly one of the best renditions of the film, I have to say, ever. Was years and years and years ago. It was orchestral, as I said. The whole sort of score has been performed like it would have been done in the original film. So yeah, quite enjoyed that, I have to say.
We accidentally rented it. We just rented it like a few movies, Halloween one
Accidentally
time.
rented it,
And
right.
we watched it and I really enjoyed it. I think a couple of the lads were a bit like, this is crap, this is shit, but I really enjoyed that movie.
That's how have you seen it would have been, oh Jesus Christ, I can't think of his name now. Why can't I think of his name? The comedian, Jesus Christ. I'm going to have to come back. I'm going to have to circle back around to this. They did this whole thing. Oh my God, Jesus Christ! I'm going to have to. Wayne is just after stepping out of the room there. It's the trans.
The
Oh my God.
Transformer.
No, not the Transformer. Nosferatu. Do you remember
Transporter?
that film, Wayne? The comedian that cross dresses.
No?
Eddie
Izzard.
Eddie Izzard.
Shadow of
Thank
the
you.
Vampire.
Thank you. Shadow of the Vampire. Could
It
not
was-
remember it for the life
It
of
was
me.
done on like the making of it, where they did this old William Dafoe played
That was it.
Nosferatu in it, whereas
Fucking hysterical.
people thought that Max Schreck, who played like the actual Nosferatu, and he went like all method actor. He was like one of the first method fucking actors. So this whole thing was that it was like Eddie Izzard was the director, and like Nosferatu was an actual vampire
yeah.
who he found,
That was fucking brilliant.
and he was like trying to get him to act and not to kill people. So it's like a dark comedy. It's very funny in points, but the
Is
end
that
of
the
it's
one
like
with John
really
Malkovich in it?
yeah, I think he's a cameraman or something in it as well.
Okay.
But that's a brilliant movie. I haven't seen that in a long time, actually.
Let's go back and watch that.
Very
Yeah, that was
underrated.
really,
like,
really good. Yeah.
It was one of the, I think it's because it was just so weird as well. And it's a very much kind of like a movie, kind of like for people that were into movies, whereas like it wouldn't appeal to everyone.
And what you said was The Shadow Within is the name of it, is it?
Shadow of the
Shadow of
Vampire.
a Vampire. Yeah.
Shadow of a Vampire.
It's very good. It's fucking hilarious.
This is why I need you to remember all of my things. You're basically my walking memory.
Say
Oh,
what?
that's sweet. Or worrying, one or the other.
I know, it's just like, I'm kind of, do you remember that thing we watched the other day, like 3 years ago, and it had the chap in it, and mine's going, yes, indeed, Shadow of a Vampire. I'm like,
What-
thank you, yes.
What
that's
actually
it.
surprised me, what we saw a while ago, was the remake of Child's Play. I think it's on Netflix.
That was actually,
now.
I really didn't want to watch that, and I ended up enjoying
The
it.
remake, so
Yeah.
it just restarts it from the first one, is it?
It's a different take on it completely.
Because like with the because they went from
'Cause it's like
horror to
40,000
kind of this
other Child's
horror
Play.
comedy, just to kind of almost tongue in cheek B movie comedy with the Child's Play ones for a long time. Like it really jumped the shark. What was it, like Seed of Chucky or something like that?
I think it jumped the shark like the second one in.
No, the second and the third ones were kind of more, and then kind of I think 4 was when it started. But it was like it's like a reboot, but it's like the other Child's Play franchise is continuing on. I think they're going to be doing like a TV series of it.
Also, it's like the Star Trek timelines. It's now.
Yeah, but like this is very. I wasn't expecting much from it. Mark Hamill does the voice of Chucky in it. It's fucking really, really funny. What's her name from Parks and Recreations is the mother in it.
One was like Leslie in it, or
Rashida Jones.
no, Rashida Jones.
What?
No, not Rashida Jones. It
Who
was
am I
the one
thinking
that
of?
was like she was going with Andy.
Oh, Aubrey Plaza.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Aubrey Plaza, yeah. So it's done
Oh,
very
yeah.
much like a comedy from the get-go with it, but then when it does get dark, you kind of feel sorry for Chucky, because he's basically like, he's not like possessed by anything. He's just fucking a defective robot.
Trying to
who-
please his
trying
child.
to please, yeah, and then he starts acting kind of like on things that he thinks